Hello everyone, this is Kelly with Craft and Creation Studio, and today I am going to pour another one of these trays because I love these things. And I've got this to put in the center, and on the outside, the top of it, around this rim, I'm going to pour resin and then add little tiny seashells to it to give that seashell look, since it is a seashell plaque. So I've mixed up 5 ounces of resin, and I'm going to go ahead and pour that along this edge. Oh, let me get some gloves on. I actually remembered this time. I got to start putting these gloves on because I got a little bit on me on my last video and have a little bit of a rash on my hands, and I don't want that to continue. Okay, now gloves are on. All right, so I'm going to pour this along this outer edge all the way around. That should be good for now because I don't want to get it full. And then stuff it full of these little tiny seashells. Get my spillage picked up there. All right. These little shells are so cute. And I wish that I had a little spoon out here, but I don't, so I'm just gonna go along and pour them in. If I get it on the middle, I'll just spread them out. Just want good coverage all the way around the top of it with shells. Stem in there. Get some more poured in here and get it good and solid, where I can push them down into the resin. All right, let me get my stick now. See if I can get these pushed down into it. And then get them coated really good so they'll be stuck in there. How's everybody's day going? This is my first of 3 days off, and I'm loving it. Because I get to play in my studio all day, doing what I love to do, and sharing with y'all. I know I got a strong southern accent. I'm a country girl, proud of it. All right, let me kind of get these kind of evened out all the way around. Let's see if I need to add more before it's all said and done. And then I'm going to have to let this first layer cure before pouring the second layer. Yep, we're going to have to add some more. Here. Get those stabbed in there. think once I get this cured and I get ready to pour the rest of it, I'm going to go with a kind of an ocean blue color and a white colored swirl to kind of give it that water and ocean look. Alright, let me get these kind of smashed down in there real good. Make sure I've got the coverage that I want. It's like a little thin right there. A few more right there in that one spot. So how is the weather where everybody is located? I don't know if it's hot where you are, but it sure is hot in Arkansas. Like, take your breath away kind of hot. So I stay indoors where it's temperature controlled and I stay cool. Keep telling my husband that I want to pull, and he doesn't want to mess with the upkeep and maintenance on a pool, which it is a lot. Alright, I think that is good. Everything is kind of pressed down in there. And it's pretty full. That's the look I was going for. So, let's let this cure and then we will finish pouring it and get the results. Okay, while this is curing, I did have some resin left over. So I am going to do some alcohol drip ink, and I've got this alcohol neon atomic that I'm going to do, and I'm going to make some of these cute little bows. I'm going to slide that over, give myself a little bit more working room and get this under the camera a little bit better. See a shell. Alright, let's drop some of this in there. And see what we can come up with pouring this. Just a new little mold that I just took out of the package, so let's see what we get with it and not waste any resin. I don't like wasting resin. Another drip in right there. And let it spread and do its thing. Matter of fact, I'm going to put some more drips in these others too, because it didn't color it very well with just that little bit in there. So we're going to make sure we get enough in it that it gets a good coverage. Make little extras. I can maybe use these on something later on down the road, some kind of little small animal figure of some kind. Now I'm gonna get my little stirring stick and mix that in good. It's a pretty color, but I think it would be better to mix it in with the resin before you pour it and get it mixed in real good. But we're just playing around, it's extras, no biggie. Alright, now I'm going to do the little moon and star. My granddaughter is into the moon and stars and stuff, so I'm going to do that one. And I think I kind of like to do the moon. I guess I could do it all in kind of that pearlescent color and then always color the star in yellow after the fact. But let's see, and I'm going to have more resin, so we're going to have to find some more extras. Let me put this little pearlescent in, pearlescent white for the pour. And just a little bit of my diamond dust, because I love my diamond dust. Get another dry stick. Not a whole bunch, just a little bit. Alright, let me get this mixed up. And we'll get that poured, and then we'll find something else to pour. Maybe a little flower or something small. Because I don't think this is going to take a whole lot. Oh, let me spritz that first. Spritz those two. Alright. Get it poured real quick. Pour some in that little star so it can work its way through too. I think that's full. Get down here at eye level, and I can put a little bit more in the star for sure. And get this poured before it gets too thick, because this resin here really gets thick quick. And I feel it getting hot already too, so let me dig out. Let me go try to find my butterfly. Hold on one moment. I found them. I got to get this organized and things labeled where I know where everything is. These are the Into Resin butterflies. Move that over, put that there. And I maybe have enough to do 2 of them. We're gonna try to see what we get. And let's see. We're going to do some more of that alcohol ink that I used, the neon colors. But I got to get them mixed up. Okay. Put some of that in there. off of there. It just flaked up where it was. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do the purple, some more of this pink, be a colorful butterfly, and the orange. Just pour one first, even though I already put some ink in that one. I want to make sure that I've got enough to do both of them before I put more ink in that other one. Alright, now I'm going to get hair off of there. Kind of let this run and get into all those little facets in there. Alright, I think that's good. Let's finish filling it up and see what we got left. Well, actually, let me do some more drips. A couple more drips. Still got quite a bit of the purple, so I'm just going to do the orange and the pink. Enough to do too, and it looks like I may be a little short on this one. I may have to mix up just a smidge and more resin. Let me scrape and see what we can get here. Yeah, let me mix just a small bit more resin, and I'm just going to mix it clear. I'm not going to put any color in it to finish that one off, and then I'll wash that other one out and get that ink out of it. And since this is on the back side, I'm not going to run this through the vacuum chamber. I'm just going to mix it really good and pour it, then I'll spritz the back side of it to knock any of the bubbles out. Okay, let's get the rest of this poured. Alright, that looks good right there. See how that turns out. Okay, well, let's get all this cured, and then you pour the second layer on the tray, and I'll see you guys here shortly. Okay, so we are back to pour the second layer, and I have chosen 4 colors. I've gone with the macro pearl for kind of like the water effect. I've gone with the pure blue mica powder, the cobalt blue, so I've kind of got 2 different shades of blue because the ocean water can have different shades of blue in it. And then I've gone with a gold, and I've done that because, and this is the Let's Resin Gold, the starfish and stuff and some of the shells kind of have some gold in them, so we're just going to kind of mix all these colors and you know, kind of get the same colors that we've got in the actual little metal picture that I'm going to be putting in the middle of it. So I'm trying to decide if I want to pour all these in a cup and layer it and then pour it, or just pour them one by one. I think I'm leaning toward maybe doing them in a cup. Let me move this a little bit so I can get to my cups here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour, I'm going to layer it. So I'll pour a little bit of that. And I'm going to come in on, well, no, let me put a layer of this in between them. And the darker blue. Some of the gold. Light blue. Macro pearl. The dark blue. Gold. And then I'm just going to finish it off now. Add all that blue. And I did not put gloves on. I'm getting so good at not doing that. I know y'all are going to probably fuss at me, because I do need to wear the gloves. After I get this poured, I'll go ahead and put some gloves on so that way I can scrape. And not, because right now I don't have any resin on my hands at all, so it's all good right now. Last of the gold. Alright, let me put some gloves on. If y'all can see how that's swirled, that's going to be so pretty. It's really going to kind of give it that ocean effect. I'm going to get my gloves on and then I will get this poured. Alright. Get these popped on here real quick. And I'm going to scrape what I've got left in my cups, so we're not wasting any resin. I'm just not going to have it tilted this time, but that's okay. I need to get on Michelle with Glitz and Glitter site and order me one of those. I think she has those curved spatulas. I'll have to find out. If not, I need to find out where she gets those from, because those do so good at scraping your leftover resin out of your cups. And the little sticks do pretty good, but that sure does a whole lot better. Alright, we're almost there. And then we will get this tray poured and see what we wind up with, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. And the last rest of the gold. Okay. Are we ready to pour? Let's do it. Man, that looks so pretty in the cup. All right, I'm just going to start in the center. I'm really kind of glad a lot of that gold went to the edge, because under that edge I've got all those seashells, and I didn't want to be too much gold. I probably didn't need to mix up as much gold as I did, but nonetheless I did. But it's still going to be beautiful. Swirl some of this blue out this way. So we can kind of get that water ripple effect. And this mold holds 18 ounces of resin. Oh yeah, that is so pretty. What do y'all think about those colors? I think that they are going to really be beautiful with this metal sign that I'm putting in it. And I think it's all going to coordinate very well together. So you can look at it there in that picture and then look at this. I think it's going to be gorgeous. Okay, well, we got to let this cure before we can go to the next step, which is demold. Well, actually, there's another step. I've got to let this cure, turn it over, put the metal pitcher in it, secure that down, and then pour the clear over that. Now, I always put a little bit of the diamond sparkle when I pour the clear, just to kind of give it that little extra glimmer. So be expecting that. So we'll go to the next step as soon as this part here gets cured. Okay, it is time to demold the tray. So let me get that done. Let's see how this turned out. Beautiful. Okay. So now, get that sat in there. It's kind of bent. I don't know why it's not sitting in there flat, but that's okay. I'll get the glue put on the back of it and then press it down until it sticks. The last one that I did like this, it was a wooden sign, so it was not flexible and was not bent. But this one is bent just a little bit, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Okay, put that glue down. And I guess I need to put something on top of that that's heavy to press it down and make it stay down. Let me find something to put on there. Okay, so I got a bottle of alcohol and a whole box of UV resin sitting on top of that to get that pressed down. But while that is doing that, we're gonna demold these other things that I poured. And we still have to pour another layer on top of this, so it's not gonna be ready quite yet, but soon enough. Okay. So there is the little moon and star, and I'm going to, it's actually going to be on that side, I'm going to color the star, probably color the star yellow. And there's one of the little bows. Another one. Got to trim a little bit on that one. It was a little over poured. And that one's cute. A little bit of trimming, not much. And that one. Alright, let's get this butterfly out. See how it turned out. The multi-layer, multicolored butterfly. I love these moles, but these butterflies are hard to get out. Ooh, that turned out pretty. Look at the colors in that. Got some trimming to do on the back of that one as well, but it's really pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, so I mixed up 6 ounces of resin because I put a couple of little extra shells to cover the little holes on the little sign or plaque. It's a plaque actually. And I put the little sparkling diamond dust in there. And we are going to pour this and get it all around the edges. And across the middle. And those 2 shells may stick up just a little bit, but that's okay. Kind of fits in with the theme. It's a little washed up on the beach seashell. Alright, drop a little drop on top of that one, and that one, and that is all of the resin. Got the little sparkle effect going on. So now we get to play waiting game again and let this cure. And then I've actually came up with these 2 knobs to put on it. I think that those are going to go pretty with it. Since there's so much brown here, we'll put the blue knobs on it to go with the blue inside that is on the little plaque. So what do y'all think? I think it's pretty. So we'll get this video finalized once this is all cured and get some pictures and stuff up for you all to see for the finished product. See you soon. Okay, this new tray with the plaque inside is done, and it is so pretty. So let me turn this bright light off here. Now then, what do y'all think? I think the blue handles kind of helped accent the brown for the shells and stuff, so it kind of helped accent the blue in the tray. But I think it's really, really pretty. And here are my extras. There's the butterfly, the bows, and the moon and star. Okay, well that's a wrap for this video. I'll get some pictures and get them posted. And we'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a great day. Bye.